Good evening and salutations, my B&B fans. I'm going to be honest. For a good 2 minutes, I was just like, what am I going to sit there and say today that I didn't sit there and say yesterday? Um, Hope is making sure that Thomas understands that they are just hooking up. They are just quote unquote friends with benefits. That is it. That is the extent of the relationship right then and there. And she wants to really make sure that he understands that. And the thing is, I really sat there because like they kept sitting there talking about her kissing and stuff like that. I was like, I'm sorry, do you want to stop and make him sign like a contract or something like that? Is that what you want? I get where she's coming from, but at the end of the day, people do change their minds. Right? People do sit there and change their minds. It's like I get it, she wants what she wants and but she wants to sit there and be honest. That's cool. But she has to understand that even if he says that he's cool with it, that there's a possibility he can change his mind. And you're still going to have to sit there and deal with that. You know, I look at this whole thing, right, with Ridge and Eric. I see Eric, I see Ridge being hella dismissive, being hella arrogant. Um, and it's one of those things where it's like, he's not there talking about, oh, well, we could work on the line together and stuff like that. And it's like, you're not listening to what he's saying. He's saying that he wants to do his own thing. And now you're all like, oh, well, what are you going to, what if your line fails and stuff like that? I was like, well, if it fails, it fails. You know, like let him do it. Let him do this. If he wants to do it, let him do it. And eventually that's what he was like, all right, you want to sit there and do this? We'll set us on the runway. I don't really understand why he is trying to make a competition out of it. It's like I get Eric that wants to make a competition out of it, talking about, oh, you better be at the top of your game because I'm coming for you. And it's like you don't have to play into that. You don't have to play into that. I don't know. Maybe this is a midlife crisis or whatever, but whatever it is, you cannot feed in. You can choose not feed into it. You can choose not feed into it. Um, Now with with RJ and Brooke. I didn't even really understand what Brooke was trying to say to RJ. There's one point she's like, oh well, you know, I, I'm just worried about Eric, and the stress and everything like that. It's not really good for him, and it's gonna mess up, their relationship, Ridge and Eric's relationship and stuff. And I'm just like, are you trying to guilt him into not helping Eric? Is that what you're trying to do? And when Carter gets in there, Carter's like, it can go sideways. It could sit there and fail. But then he also sits there and says, well, you know what? He didn't know his line was actually going to work. And we're all in this building because he took a chance. So, it is what it is. Now, of course, Ridge is, he's ecstatic. He's excited about the fact that, RJ's designing and everything. So he got that whole thing going for him, which is like, I can't sit there and say he's been low key pressuring him. He's been literally practically trying to shove a pencil in his face the minute he walked back into that room. There was one point where Eric was like, "Oh, is that it? You're jealous that RJ's being taught on to me. That I'm mentoring him and not you. That's what it is. It's you're jealous." And part of me was like, he kept saying it so many times. I'm just like, well, is Eric jealous? Is Rich jealous? But again, I'm also sitting there looking at that, and it's like, okay, he's trying to goat you. He's trying to goat you. He's probably trying to sit there and be like, oh, you're jealous. It's like your dad's like 80 or 90 years old. Can't you just give him the W? Just take the L for the team at this point. It's like, does it really matter? You know. Instead, you want to sit there and go into competition with them. Like I don't get that. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying what Eric is doing is right either, but I'm like, he's 89 years old. He's been working. He's been doing stuff for a while. Let him have his little fantasy or whatever. Fine. Let him do him. You don't need to sit there and really, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like that's pretty much about it. I feel like this is incredibly short, but then I'm also sitting there thinking, like, well, it wasn't really that much stuff that happened yesterday. From yesterday to today. I mean, Hope and Thomas, what they were doing yesterday was the same thing what they were doing today. So it's like you cut that out. It's only like 18 minutes. This is why sometimes I'm just like, what the hell did I watch? I always sit there and say that B&B is the best soap opera comedy. I would never sit there and recommend this show to anyone. I really would. As far as soaps, I would not. The only soap I would sit there and recommend, because I know people sit there and watch it in our hospital, is Days of Our Lives. It's Days of Our Lives. I can sit there and probably recommend maybe people watch a certain week of a storyline on YNR. Well, for the most part, yeah, Days of Our Lives is where it's at. This this show is convenient. It is a half an hour, 18 minutes long. Um, you still get some interesting characters. You still get somewhat semi interesting stories by B&B standards. I should sit there and say by B&B standards that you get a somewhat semi interesting story. And I feel like that's what it is for most people that watch B&B. It's like you still watch your soaps and your characters, but it's scaled down to about 18 something minutes. Um, the other ones are pretty much a half an hour to an hour, give or take, if you're watching it live on TV. So, anyway, I feel like I might have missed one or two things, but I can't think of what it is. And as I always sit there and say, if I forgot anything, you know what to do. Come to the live stream tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We'll sit there and talk about all the shows, YNR, B&B, Daves, and GH. And if you are not a member, hit the join button below, well, join button in the description box. I do videos that are exclusive for members. I do live streams that are exclusive for members, and I do monthly shoutouts. And yeah, with that being said, I'm gonna go. Thank you for watching. Stay safe. I'll see you in the next video.